Hey there, it's Tamara Ridge, and I wanted to talk to you about what I've been discovering for myself. I've shared before on this channel that I really rarely have trauma responses anymore, but I also wanted to share some of my deeper discoveries about my own journey into some of the integrative pieces of healing after childhood trauma. So that's what I'm here to do today. I shared a little bit in the last video about the red light or green light posture, and that I'm really working hard on improving. Those of us who are in the red light posture a lot develop extra tissue here. It's called a dowager's hump. I've been working on having my shoulders back and down and having my chin stay where it belongs so that I'm not putting extra pressure on my teeth that I'm going to get repaired. So as I've been doing that work, some other parts of the healing process and the layering of healing and how that goes has been showing up. So as I've been working on my posture, I lie on the floor in the daily practice position that I've shared with you. And I noticed that I have this little strip of muscle on the back of my neck that I was having trouble relaxing. So I lied on the floor in that position and just really focused on listening to my body and paying attention to what was happening there. And then, as often happens when I'm paying attention to what's happening in my body, when I'm trying to quiet and trying to listen to what's happening, I have tears. So I'm paying attention to this, trying to release it, and then for, I don't know, maybe a minute, I just had sort of this violent eruption of tears, and then this muscle relaxed. So you've probably read things like The Body Keeps the Score or heard about somatic therapies. And this is the kind of energy that gets released when we pay attention to what's happening in our body. And it's part of an integrative approach because we're not leaving any piece out. So after I did that crying and it relaxed, I realized that that muscle tension there was holding emotional energy that was connected to this position. So I was able to let it go. And honestly, I can tell you that I knew exactly where that energy was coming from. I don't need to tell you because I'm sure you can guess. And if you've had similar experiences, then you're probably also aware that that is somewhere in your body too. On top of that, I want to share that I'm working with, I call her a body worker. Most people would probably call her a massage therapist. I think she calls herself a massage therapist. But she's really intuitive and she's very connected, and she kind of listens in an intuitive way and goes to places in the body where it feels like energy is stuck. And I've been working with her for a few months. And honestly, to tell you the truth, when we started doing the body work, she would rub my arm, right? The arm from my shoulder, my elbow to the shoulder. And it just hurt. And the inside of my palm still really hurts. And the side of my thigh. So a relaxing massage hasn't really been a relaxing massage because it's been so painful. And yesterday she came and we did some more work, and the bottom part of my ribs on the right side, so painful. And when she was touching, I thought I had to touch it too to see what she was doing, and realized that it was just terribly sensitive. So while I was on my belly for the first part of the massage, I had already told her that I was breathing in, and while she was massaging my body, breathing in and telling myself it's okay, I'm safe, because I am safe. But my body's been so guarded for so long that I was really trying to allow her in, because with the pain that's been happening the last few months and the stiffness that I've come to massages with, I really wanted to allow my physical body to ease into and to trust in a way that maybe I've been guarding myself my entire life and haven't been able to trust. So I was really working on that. I shared with her what I was telling myself. And at the bottom of my lungs, across my back, she said, right here I'm feeling a lot of grief. She said, so if you could breathe into that place and allow light and healing to go in there and love. And I immediately started crying, which for me is a release. I know that if there's a burst of tears that kind of shakes the body, that there's a release. And it did. It released. After that, everything else in my body was softer. What is the grief for? It's very interesting. I'm the only person in my family who's got asthma. I've often thought about that. It doesn't make sense that I'm the only one, but I'm the only one. But I was also the oldest and the one who received the most harm. And so it made perfect sense that there was grief in my lungs. It was a 2-hour session, bodywork session. And at the end of the 2-hour session, I felt a sadness that had been kind of heavy in my body go away, that I woke up in the morning with thinking that it was my current situation. That's not what it was. It was old grief, and could breathe deeper into my lungs more than I ever have been able to in the last several years. So this morning, I woke up around 5. And at 5 a.m., I'm lying there in bed, and I'm noticing the deep breath and how much space I'm able to take with breath in my body. And I'm also noticing, it brings some emotion to me now as I say it, but I'm also noticing that I have this sense of maybe loneliness or longing for nurturing or empty space where I can breathe into now in an emotional way. And as soon as I noticed that, I had these things come to me. And I said in my mind to myself, you are good, you are worthy, you are loved. And it was almost like I was speaking to my child self. I've been more in contact with my child self, that hurt part of me that is a child self still, that is living in my body in a physical way, if that makes sense. And making contact with her and finding those empty spaces where there's still loneliness and sadness. So I lie there in bed, just in a very loving way, not like affirmations, but in a way that fit. You are good, you are worthy, you are loved. And then, of course, tears came, and then sleep. Heavy, deep, satisfying sleep. So that is some aspect of what integrative medicine looks like. It's recognizing that trauma impacts more than our mental and emotional, our social and our relationships. It really does impact our relationship with ourselves, our physical relationship with our body. And it's interesting because my body worker yesterday said, after I was able to breathe, I said, wow, I don't feel so stuck. And the stuckness was not something I was aware of before. It's very similar to something that clients of mine have said when they say, wow, I didn't realize I've had that much anxiety. I'm so used to being scared that I don't even notice I'm scared anymore. And this is a place where in my body I was so used to being stuck that I didn't notice I was stuck. But now when the stuckness is gone, I can see that there's a big difference and love into the space that is left because the stuckness opened to allow a different energy in. That might sound pretty woo-woo as I'm speaking it, I'm realizing that. But integrative medicine looks to reach those things. So whether you do yoga or find a really intuitive body worker, work with someone who does Reiki, or do acupuncture, whatever it is that you do, whether it's even my exercise that I advocate for on this channel, there are deeper levels, and trauma impacts us on all of those levels. And I've shared before that I'm now working on the physical aspects, but the physical aspects go deeper than I had imagined. And as I explore and as I discover, it's my practice to bring those realizations to you. Right now, I don't have a very fancy studio. I'm just using my phone in front of a window so that it's lit well, because all of our things are still in storage. But we will be moving to a place next month that we're probably going to stay at for a year. So I'm going to set up a studio and be putting up regular videos again. But I really did just want you to, I wanted to share my experience of what integrative medicine means on a personal level and what kind of work you can do at the same time that you're healing your trauma responses using something like my 6 steps, as well as body work. It's really satisfying work, but it's still hard work. I did a lot of crying yesterday on the massage table. I've had bursts of tears today, mostly during bedtime, but those are so healthy and they're so nurturing, and they release something that allows more space for to let the good in. So that's what I have to share with you for today. Thank you for watching. I'm Tamara Ridge, traumatologist and specializing in integrative and nutritional medicine for mental health. And I'm so happy that you're here. And if you have any comments or requests or questions, please put it in the comment section below and I'll be happy to answer them. See you soon. Bye-bye.